rule oppression, exercise robbery, vex the poor and needy. They are polluted in the way, man will take off your crown, remove your diadem, exalt him that is low. You know the regard the God of their fathers. They have no desire for woman. They exalt forces. They come into our fields and them take them by violence. They oppress a man in his house, even his heritage. They try to put a bit into my mouth that I might obey and go whichever way you say and say whatever you say. But I know your works. We're negatively giving them to keep on holding on to my name. Israel, Israel, give it up. The people of the land rule oppression, exercise robbery, vex the poor and needy, polluted in their way, and will take off your crown, remove your diadem, exalt him that is low, neither do they regard the God of their fathers. They have no desire for woman. Them exalt forces. They come into our fields and then take them by violence. Them oppress a man in his house, even his everything. They try to put a bit into my mouth that I might obey and go whichever you say and say whatever you say. But I know your works. We're negatively even though they keep on holding on to my name. Israel, better Israel, yeah. We don't take money to forget. Don't break covenant and forget. Just can't pay me to forget so that the people of the land rule the oppression. Exercise robbery, vex the poor and needy. Polluted in their way, someone will take off your crown. Remove your diadem, exalt him, that is low. Neither do they regard the God of their fathers. No desire for woman, they exalt forces. They come into our fields and them take them by violence. Them oppress a man, even his house, even his heritage. They try to put a bit into my mouth that I might obey. And go whichever you say, and say whatever you say. But I know your word.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We give praises and honor unto Elohim for such a wonderful day. Today being the 10th of the second month, 2024, according to the Gentiles calendar, we praise Elohim for watching over us in good health, granting us life, granting us food to eat and shelter. Bless him for our family members, our friends, our loved ones. Whatever we might be going through, we give praises unto him, for it is by his will. That's why we are able to go through them. So we thank him. We can never thank him enough for the things he does for us behind the scenes, the unseen things that Elohim does for us as we sleep. He is the one who is watching over our souls, so that in the morning, not your alarm, but the voice of Yah may raise you up once again. For when we went to bed yesterday, we went to bed with many souls, yet this morning, some woke up and then they could not see, they could not hear, they could not move their bodies. Others were lifeless. Others were rushed into the hospitals and they lost their lives. But by the mercies of Yah, we are still being kept alive, even though we go through challenges as well. We might lose some. You can lose your job. You can lose your mama. You can lose your child. You can be sick as well. All these things are part of life. As long as you are a human being, whether you are a Muslim, a Buddhist, an unbeliever, a Christian, a Hebrew, you will go through all what beasts go through in the wilderness. When you go into the wilderness or in the wildlife, you will sometimes see an antelope giving birth, and during labor, a lion from nowhere will just pop up, kill the almost born baby of the antelope and the mother, and then he will eat it, and he will go to his family. And one day you will see that same lion will get old, and other lions will venture into its kingdom and dispose of him as well. So whether you are a believer or not, we will all go through the same things as long as we are living under the sun. But Elohim said that they that wait upon him, he shall renew their strength, and he shall grant unto us a little strength that we may be able to overcome. But the prophet Isaiah prophesied and said that, behold, they shall hear from behind them a voice that will say unto them, go to the left or go to the right. We are grateful for Yah over the years having granted us the ability to live a holy life, trying to live a holy life so that we may please him. So we thank him for all of the prophets from the days of Adam, even to the last book and the lost so-called books. We bless him for the new epistles in the New Testament and all the apostles and the prophets and the apostles and teachers and pastors and whatnot from the new covenant. We can never thank him enough for the Messiah himself, the one who was hidden even in the seventh heaven. The scripture says that, behold, he comes with clouds and all eyes shall see him, including the ones who pierced him. Zechariah said that, behold, they shall look upon him whom they have pierced. And then they shall mourn for him like they mourning for their own babies. So we bless Elohim. For blessed are those whose ears are circumcised, that they may take heed to sound doctrine. We come to you once again today. Continue from where we concluded last week. We started on a new theme known as, I think, the Black History Month. And then today's session, the focus is on the color of the Hebrew Israelites. When you look around you, there are so many people that are claiming to be things. Some claim to be Arabs. Now you have white Arabs claiming to be the original Egyptians. They have come up with certain institutions that allow them to even do what the Gentiles did by painting images, white images, Arab-looking people into the pyramids, and then to show you that, oh, we have found a new one. They have not found any new thing. It's the same thing being recycled onto you. So we come before you today, not to boast, not to trick you, not to come with sermons based on human logic and the understanding of men, but based on the mysteries of Yah, as he said in the book of Daniel, when Daniel confronted the angel in the 12th chapter of the book of Daniel, and he said that, behold, you've revealed so many things to me, and lo, I want to know the mysteries behind these things. And then the angel Gabriel told him that, Daniel, shut up these books and seal them until the ends of time. And John the Revelator came and said that, behold, when you read chapter 10 of Revelation, about the verse 7, he said that, behold, in the days of the seventh angel, as he begins to sound the trumpet, all the mysteries of Yah may be finished as he promised all the apostles, the pastors, the evangelists, the prophets, all the malachims, the Mores, the ones who he sent. When you read the last book of Moshe 29, verse 20 and 9, he said that, behold, the secret things belongs unto Yah, but the things that are revealed belongs unto you and the ones that are after you. And then Solomon told us that, behold, it is a glory of kings to go and search out the matter. Elohim did not just put all secrets and mysteries before us for all of us to just find them. You will have to go and search it out. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he also taught them knowledge and understanding. Nowadays, what are they teaching you? You are still all of these so-called groups that are popping up promising all manner of signs and wonders and revival. You see that they are recycling the same old messages that you've heard, your mothers heard, that did not change them. The same mysteries so-called about the 7 keys to success, the 7 keys to this, the 7 keys to whatever, yet he himself is not working. If all the church members stop working like him, and we're going to implement the 7 keys of riches, do you think that the church will still be functioning? But we have been coming before you for many years. We show you back to back, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, so that you may know that Elohim, he is but one, and he is the one who gave it. For the Messiah promised the apostles and said that, behold, I go to the Father, and when I go, I will not leave you like orphans, but I will send you the promise of the Abba or the Father, which is the Holy Spirit. And behold, when he comes, he will not speak concerning himself, but he will speak of me, for he will receive from me. Therefore, when you read the book of Revelation chapter 1, he said that, behold, I heard a voice behind me, and as I turned, I saw the unseen one. And then he said unto me, behold, I send to you an angel who will explain to you things that are about to come. Therefore, he said that write these things and show them unto these people. Do not seal the books anymore, for the time is nigh. So we pray that today you will learn something. Last week, the focus was, what was the focus of? The importance of what?
The Israelites.
Importance of the Israelites, yes. And this week, the focus is on the people, the color of the people. You will ask yourself, does it matter? Because that's what we are fan of making nowadays. Once you begin to reveal certain things, people are like, but market age, does it matter? If it did not matter, the people in Palestine right now will not be bombed. Millions of souls have been wasted because of a lie. Thousands upon thousands of people are being slaughtered because of a lie. Because of that lie, you, who was supposed to be righteous in judgment, you can now look at Palestine, or what you call the land of Israel, and see Palestinian babies and kids. They've been bombed. The hospitals destroyed, schools blown up. That it was in the news that when they are even doing an operation, they cannot give you any injection against the pain. Therefore, people have to like hold you and they cut you raw. And as a Christian, when you look at these images, you are like, yeah, but the Bible says that we have to support Israel. So I stand with Israel. So your judgment is uncorrupt. So therefore, in the days of your trouble, they will also ask you the same thing that when you read the book of Matthew 25, he said that, and I will say unto the ones on my right, behold, when I was sick, you came and visited me. When I was in need, you showed compassion, but you are not showing compassion to the Palestinians who are being bombed, yet you show compassion to the ones who are doing the bombing. So it does matter. So we will show you today that all these lies they've been telling you that these are the people, what not, it's nothing but a fallacy. We will show you a lot of images from their own, not from us. If you pay attention and if you have followed us for years, you see that, of course, there are black scholars, black authorities that we can cite, but we know you. We know you. Anything that is black, you don't want. So we stick with the white people. And we will look at their own sources, their own images that they created. And then we shall compare it to the guys in the Middle East right now, Netanyahu and the mafias. And then we will see whether they look alike. And if they don't look alike, then you have to ask yourself, what the heck is going on in this world? That you go to you are preparing yourself to go to church tomorrow and praise the Lord. And lie to yourself that, oh, if you bless the Israelites, you will be blessed, but your home is collapsed. Your children are rebellious. Your countries are collapsing, yet you keep on believing in this fallacy that, oh, we have to bless certain people in the Middle East, and the Bible said that we will be blessed. How come Africa is blessed after supporting Israel for more than 70 years? You don't pay attention, you don't reflect. Today, by the mercies of Yah, we will go into those things. We will show you scripture, of course, sources, and pictures as well, so that you may know that we are not lying, that we don't come to play. We will show you some of the ways they use to trick you. There are some ways, once you are online and you see it, you think, oh, that means white. It's a fallacy. That's why we've been telling you that you have to be careful. Make sure that the leader, the more or the sent one, the one who is before you, is schooled physically. If he's unschooled physically, forget about whatever he can do spiritually. He will still lead you to hell. The scripture said that if a blind man leads you, you are going to fall into a pit. You have to be able to compare and contrast and draw your own conclusion. Otherwise, you in hell, you will lift up your eyes. So today's session is the color of the Hebrew Israelites. Then let's do the introduction before we do the table of contents. Listen.
During this month of Black History, we have dedicated the month to the hidden Bantu Hebrew Israelites spread across the four corners of the earth. We will seek to bring light to the people of the book and not what the U.S. and the Western world have given to us.
So this is what we are about to do. We are not, if you study us, we don't come from the perspective of these Christopharians or what you call Christians and these theologians or these white preachers and black preachers and whatnot. We come from the volume of the book. He said that, behold, I come in the volume of the book. Listen.
We will seek to bring light to the people of the book and not what the U.S. and the Western world have given to us, known as Israelis.
Listen.
It is very essential to ask yourself this very question.
You have to, a believer, even an unbeliever, first, before you address certain things on this earth, you have to answer this question for me. Listen.
How can Hellenistic and heathen nations,
how can a Hellenistic and heathen Gentile nations
hand over to you,
give you
a people
they claim
are the chosen of Yah,
are the chosen of Hellenistic and heathen people? They have nothing to do with what is godly, what is righteous. As a matter of fact, they claim they don't believe. Yet these same Hellenistic people, these same heathen people, can all of a sudden, you remember when they were about to go into Gaza, all of a sudden, CNN and whatnot, they will invite these rabbis and prophets to come now, give you prophecies. Yeah, the Bible says, and all the armies will surround Israel. And I told you that is a lie. No army will be able to go and gather around so-called Israel in the Middle East. And I showed you, not from scriptures, I showed you from their own sources, that the ones you call Arabs, they are spineless people. They are leaders, are monarchs that have been placed there by the same Gentiles that gave you the Israelis. The Saudi monarch, they don't go back more than 100-something years. Qatar, Kuwait, all of these monarchs you see in the Middle East are nothing but puppets. To date, they've not been able to even issue a threat to Israel. They all beg, oh, please, can you do this? Oh, please. They don't have an army. How would they go and surround Israel? And then your pastors will tell you, yeah, but Russia will join them. And then Putin is an Ashkenazi. The Russian people, the Ukrainian people, the Polish people are nothing but the same people. They've lied to you, they've tricked you. And what? China. China is not even able to invade Taiwan, let alone to come against Israel with intercontinental nuclear weapons. Do you think China will go and wreak a war with such a small nation that can still destroy such a big country? What for Palestinians? Really? Not for anything that they are going to fight for Palestinians. Yet, all of these prophets, rabbis came and told you, this is what is about to happen. You have to, and I told you it's a lie. Continue to eat and sleep. 4 months later, where are we? Where are the armies that are surrounding them? Listen to the book.
So how can heathen nations hand over to you a people they claim are the chosen of Yah?
So how can people who claim they are unbelievers hand over to you a people they claim are the people of Yah? When did Hellenistic and heathen and unbelieving people speak to Elohim since they don't believe in him? You don't ask yourself this question. You move by emotions. All that you care about is, oh, yeah, but if that is not the case, how come the land is called Israel? That's all that you care about. That's all that you care about. Listen to the book.
When Yah has declared,
when the Almighty himself declared and said
that he has not known
I
any
have
other
not
nation,
known any heathen and Hellenistic nation but Israel.
neither has he spoken to them.
So when did he speak to the British Empire who created the land of Israel? When? Then did he speak to Queen Elizabeth? Listen to the book.
Our focus this week will be on the very color of the ancient people of the great book.
So we are going to look at the color, and you might be, oh, why is it important? I've just explained to you. And later on, when we are looking at the scriptures, why do you think that he mentions the color of the people? If that was not important, he would just say that the people were green, since no one is green on this earth. But he gave you their description. He gave you the description of the angels, and he gave you the description of the Abba himself and his son for a reason. Because he knew, as the Messiah told you, that behold, I have come in my Father's name and you will not believe. But behold, if another kind of people and prophet come in their own name, you will believe. So they come and tell you, we are the Israelites, we are the people of the book, and we read the scriptures. And the first white people we see being mentioned in the scriptures are the Grecian. That is like 3,000 years later from the days of Egypt. Yet these people said that before Abraham they were. And then they trick you with all of these so-called scrolls they've made. And when you see it, we're like, wow, but they have it's a lie. Moses did not hold any scroll. He said that write these things in a book. He didn't write any scrolls. It's a lie from the pit of hell that they designed themselves. But once you see those things, you think, oh, the scrolls these Ashkenazis are holding are from ancient times. No, it's a lie.
King James Scroll.
Yeah, King James Scroll. All the names they've placed there, it's nothing but a lie. All of these, what the so-called Dead Sea Scrolls, nothing but a lie and a fallacy. When did you see it? People have been in that region for thousands of years, never saw any scrolls. And as soon as Ashkenazis pop up, oh, we found scrolls. These people are, that's why the scripture says that they've been lying from the beginning. But when we come, we will show you the evidence. You call us antichrist, but we love it. We love the title. Listen to the book.
Psalms 147 verse 19. He shewed his word unto Jacob.
Listen, he shows his words to the Gentiles.
He shewed his word unto Jacob.
No, he showed his words to Great Britain.
He shewed his word unto
to
Jacob,
America,
unto Jacob,
to the European Union. What
Jacob.
Are you people talking about? He has not done so
with any nation.
Yet you said that he did so with America, he did so with the British Empire, he did so with Germany, with Germania. Listen to the book.
And as for his judgment,
they
have not known
They
them.
have not known the judgment of Yah. That's why they are able to tell you that now. My parents went to Ghana, was it this week? And before that, when I was booking their ticket for them, now you can select gender, you can say, not know gender, like you don't know whether you are a man or a woman. Can you imagine this? These are people that are claiming that they spoke to the Almighty. And they told them, oh, America, these are my people, go and save them. Wow. Listen to the book.
Job 9:24.
The earth
is given into the hand of the wicked.
So he's telling you the people that are ruling are nothing but Hellenistic, heathen, and wicked empires. Listen.
He covers the faces of the judges thereof.
He said that America and the powers that be, they've covered the faces of the judges
thereof.
So look at the so-called international court in Den Haag. They cannot persecute a Western leader. All that they are able to persecute are African leaders and East European or South American leaders. Why? Because the powers that be, they are the ones that are controlling everything. They have covered the eyes of the judges. Listen.
If not, where and who is he?
He's asking you, do you know who he is? You don't know, but we will show you today. Listen.
In
Proverbs
23:23.
Buy
the truth
and
sell it not.
Listen.
Also wisdom and instruction and understanding.
So that's why we are here. We are going to show you wisdom, instruction, and understanding based on the truth, precept upon precept. Marcus Garvey. Listen. A quote from me said that the people without
the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture
is
like a tree without roots.
So never despise your history. Whether your people were even doing voodoo, still research your history. That's where you come from. You come from a voodoo priest. You can't change your past. You can't undo your parents. They are the ones who named you. Table of contents, listen.
We'll look at the creation of man.
Here's what we are going to do. We will look at the creation of man, because if you pay attention, Elohim did not name Adam. Elohim, like Eve, he said that he called her Eve because she was the mother of all living. But Adam, he created male and female, created he them. And then all of a sudden you read about Adam. It is there for a reason. That's they start to trick you from there with that name, with that title. And then if you are online, you go to the Bible schools and you click on Adam, then it will break down Adam for you. That's where they start to trick you, so that you will think that the people that he is speaking about are white people. We are going to debunk it today. Listen to the book.
We'll look at the question, what is ruddy?
So we will break this down for you to understand.
We'll look at fair or ruddy looking Africans.
Yeah, we will show you pictures. Listen.
The sons of Noah. We'll look at the question, who and what is a Negro? And the Semitic origins of the word Niger or nigger.
Listen.
We'll look at the Hebrews and the Egyptians and that they looked alike.
Listen.
We'll look at examples like Moses, Jacob, and Esau, the Messiah, and the color of the outcast of Israel. And then we'll look at the illuminating the Psalms in Byzantium A Bristol salt in the 11th century,
It
also
will
an
show you
example.
pictures from all the way from the 11th century, from the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages. They told you there was nothing going on, but there were things going on. They tell you there was nothing going on because they have to hide things. They will show you pictures from that era, and then we will do the conclusion. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to post them, and then we will do our best to answer them. So let's go. The creation of man, Genesis 1:20 and 6.
And Yah said,
The Almighty said, let
us make man in our image,
after
our likeness,
and let them
have dominion over the fish of the sea,
and
over the fowl of the air,
and
over the cattle,
and
over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon
so
the
Yah
earth.
created man in his own image. In the image of Yah created he him. Male
and female created he them.
You see, and out of the ground in verse 2, verse 19, Yah
formed every beast of the field,
and
every fowl of the air,
listen,
and brought them unto Adam.
pause there. Chapter 1, he said he didn't name them. 2, all of a sudden we read about someone called Adam. Listen.
And he brought them unto Adam.
And he brought them unto Adam
to see what he would call them.
To see what Adam will call them. Listen.
And whatsoever Adam called every living creature.
And whatsoever Adam called them, so their names became. So the first thing you have to do is, what is Adam? So we'll go to their own Strongs. That's where they start to trick you. How can one is so in Christians? They have the so-called original words, but they've hidden all of them and they've put it into Strongs and give you what? A big word. Does that make sense to you? That in order for you to understand, if you go to the Strong, literally, like every word for word, they have the so-called original meaning. Since you had the original meaning, how come you did not leave the original meanings for us to read it? But you have to hide it. So let's look at the Blue Letter Bible, man.
The outline of biblical usage.
So this is Adam. It says Adam is man or mankind.
And then man or human being.
Listen.
Then man or mankind. Much more frequently intended sense in the Old Testament.
And then Adam, who is the first man.
And then a city in the Jordan Valley.
And I will go to the Strongs itself. Adam
means ruddy.
Adam is what?
Means ruddy.
So this is what they use. Over the years, I remember when I was growing up, Pastor Bilehaba, the people like Adam, it means red. As soon as you hear red, they are telling you that, oh, it's the white people. Adam was white. So they've told you that ruddy means red, which might be true, but what kind of red? Listen to the book.
That is a human being, an individual, or the whole species or mankind.
Listen.
And then it also means another, or hypocrite, or common sort, or low, or man.
So this means that Elohim said that he is showing you the color of how the first person looked like. So ruddy, that's where your attention should be. So let's look at this. What is ruddy?
Ruddy, according to the Oxford Dictionary.
There's not a black dictionary. There's a white dictionary from Oxford, the big boys. What does ruddy say?
One, of a person's face having a healthy red color.
It's a person's face who is having a healthy red color. Or having
a reddish color.
Pay attention, know the word, what? Healthy. So when you see the term ruddy in your Bible, it means that the person is a healthy person. A reddish, maybe a reddish looking person. We are continuing. Webster's
dictionary definition of ruddy. It says ruddy, ruddier. Let me read from one. Of a red color.
Of a red color.
Red or reddish.
Red or reddish.
As a ruddy sky.
As a ruddy sky.
A ruddy flame.
A ruddy flame.
They were more ruddy in body than rubies.
They were more ruddy in body than rubies, which is the source is from the scriptures. Listen.
2. Of a lively flesh color.
The same as Oxford said, healthy, which is lively, of a lively flesh
color.
Or
the color of the human skin.
Or the color of the human skin in high
health.
You see, as
ruddy cheeks or lips.
So once you have read this, you cannot draw your conclusion that this is talking about any white boy. Neither can you draw a conclusion that this is talking about a black person. So we have to dig deeper. Like, whatever we say, like Pastor Brobe, we say, go deeper. So we are going to go deeper today. It has shown you that it means lively, healthy, maybe reddish. But don't pause there. We are continuing. Listen.
Know the definitions referring to ruddy.
So you have to know the definition referring to ruddy as
healthy.
As healthy.
Reddish. Which is actually
brownish. And we are going to show that to you. Listen.
Lively and fresh in complexion, which implies a handsomeness, beauty, and does not refer to any white person.
Neither do we use
the word ruddy to describe a white person.
We can Google it. So let us now examine the definition of brown, for example.
Webster's Revised Unabridged Dictionary. And then it says brown. A dark color.
It's a dark color inclining to what?
To red.
To red or
yellow.
Resulting from
the mixture of red and black.
Of red, black, and yellow.
Resulting from the mixture of red and black or of red,
so
black,
he told you that
yellow.
Brown is inclining. It looks like red or yellow. Listen.
And tawny. Dusky hue.
Listen.
They describe brown as a dark color.
So they describe brown as a dark color.
Inclining to red.
Inclining to red.
Or yellow. They call light-skinned Negroes.
They call light-skinned Negroes, for example, as yellow.
And or red bones.
So if you Google, for example, yes, you have internet, just go to Google and type in red cows, for example. And click on images. And let's see whether you see a white-looking cow. You will see a brownish. This is what ruddy means. Listen.
So if you Google, for example, red cows and click on images, you would see brown cows instead of red cows. So ruddy simply means brownish.
Have you ever seen any red cow before? So this is the color of ruddy, the cow you see on your screen.
Or ruddy horses.
Horses, the same thing. And that's why the previous image I put of the duck, the same thing. This is its name, ruddy duck. It's a black, brownish beast. But if you don't do research, you wouldn't know. But we are not done. Listen.
So this is from the Oxford Dictionary, entry brown. It means of a color produced by mixing red, yellow, and black.
So for you to have brown, you have to mix red, the reddish they were talking about, and yellow and black, and then you will get the dark wood.
As of dark wood or rich soil.
Or rich, any soil which is rich is always brown. That's why the top soil is called humus. That's where life is. That's where the term human beings comes from. The original people. The people of a darker hue, they say.
Human.
Human being. So don't let these illiterate pastors trick you with the word ruddy. And we are not done. We are not done. Listen.
And old brown coat, that was an example.
Listen.
And then entry dark skinned or suntanned. So brown is made by mixing red, yellow, and black, and likened to rich soil of the earth, just like the scripture in Jeremiah 14 verse 2.
Not to mention, they also said
suntanned like songs of Solomon,
because the sun had looked
upon me,
meaning
dark skinned.
In Genesis, the Most High
explained how man was made
and
what he was made from.
So human Adam is showing you the source, that he made him from the soil, the top layer. That's what Adam means, ruddy person, brownish, reddish looking man, not a white boy. Genesis 2:7, and Yah formed
man
Adam
of the dust of the ground
and
breathed into his nostrils the breath of life,
and
man became a living soul.
Listen.
And then man here is the Hebrew word Adam.
Adam.
The verses give you the definition of Adam.
And the verse, once you click on it and we've showed you, it then gives you the definition of Adam. If you want to know what white person means, white in Hebrew, that is the uncle of Jacob. What is that? Laban. Just do the Strongs of Laban. It's not a ruddy. Listen to the book.
And then the verse gives you the definition of Adam. It says, of the dust of the ground.
Dust of the ground. We are made from the ground,
which ranges from light to dark tan,
which is
still brown to black of the earth.
And then according to now, we have moved to the so-called people with the scrolls, Zondervan themselves. This is Jewish.
The Jewish dictionary.
This is a Jewish dictionary. Let's look at what they are saying.
According to the Zondervan's Bible
ruddy
dictionary,
is a word used to
refer to a red
or
fair complexion
in contrast to
the dark skin of the Hebrew Israelites.
So Ashkenazis are telling you that the Hebrew Israelites were people of a dark skin, yet they themselves claim that they are the ones, and we have to clap for them. This is their own dictionary. That the word ruddy is a word used to refer to red or fair complexion
in contrast to the dark skin,
to the very dark skin
of the Hebrew Israelites.
It meant that among the Hebrews, even though they were very dark, you still have people who are fair. And when we say a black person is fair, it doesn't mean they are white. It means that their tone is inclining towards what we showed you before, brownish. And we will show you pictures and examples of those. Listen, this is from Surah, this is from Quran. We quote from any source. This is Surah Al-Hajj 15:20, and it says, indeed,
we created
man from
sounding clay,
molded from
black mud.
Now, if you create man from a black mud, a black clay, what color would that man become?
Very black.
So you have to ask yourself, the people in the Middle East claiming to be Arabs, and they say that Muhammad, wherever they came from. And then he said, as for the jinn is a spirit. As for the spirit, we created them earlier before men from
smokeless
So
fire.
when you read the scripture, it says that, and he made his ministering angels from flames of fire. The Quran saying the same thing. We made them from smokeless fire. But man, we made him from what? A black clay or a black mud. If this doesn't convince you, you know what to do. Listen.
So this is another source. It is called the vital challenge of biblical certitude. And then it says the first term, Adam, means red or ruddy. And this color corresponds with our brown.
Why the first man
should have been named thus, we are not told.
Listen.
It may be because he had a brown or brownish complexion.
Listen.
It is held to be derived from Adama, meaning the earth.
The earth, human, you. Listen.
And would mean that Adam was like brown earth dust, of which his body was made.
That's all that we want. So you've seen that we've quoted from Mafia and White dictionaries. We've quoted from Jewish sources. And then we've quoted from the Quran and the scriptures. So now on your screen, you will see ruddy, fair-looking Africans. I only use Nigerians. The films you watch, Pete Idochi, his son, Yul Idochi. That's what we call fair-looking Black people. They are Nigerians. They are Bantu people. Yet, if you compare them to the ordinary Nigerian, they are fair-looking people. They are ruddy. This is how David looked like. We will go to that later. So when you, these unschooled people, they will go and quote kings, and the Bible says, and David was ready. Pause there. So that means that he was white. Pause there. Do you listen to yourself? His parents were standing there. All his brothers were standing there. If David was white, it meant that all of them were white. So why would the Bible say that and David was white? A white among white people. Does that make sense to you? But when he says ruddy, it means that his other people were down to swat. Black people, indigo-looking people, but he was ruddy. He was like these people. So these are sources. Now let's look at the sons of Noah. There are no questions here, this is simple. These are pictures. Pictures don't lie. Genesis, the 10th chapter from 1.
Now these are the generations.
Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and
Japheth.
And unto them
were sons born after the flood.
And the sons of Ham
were Cush,
Mizraim,
and Put,
and
Canaan.
Listen, now let's look at Ham.
From the Blue Letter Bible, Hams means hot. It was the second son of Noah.
That's fine. So now give me the Zondervan version.
So from the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, Ham, meaning perhaps hot, he was the younger son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Listen.
And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor.
He is the one through whose loins the children of
the dark races
So
he was
came from.
He was the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes.
It's showing that even though he is the one who brought forth the dark races on this earth, even though it's a lie, but we will stick with that because all his brothers were dark. Even though he brought forth the dark races, not all the dark races came from him. The Negroes didn't come from him. So we have to find out where Negroes came from, whether they are Japheth, because the white people claim Japheth. Listen to the book.
He became the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes.
Not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the original Egyptians.
And the Ethiopians.
Because the Ethiopians is where that they play with. The original thing is not Ethiopian, it's Cushites. Ethiopia simply means black people in Greek. So the way they use Ethiopian, because once you look at it, then immediately you are going to look at the map and you are going to check the current Ethiopians. Those are Abyssinians. But we will come there later. Listen.
But Egyptians and Ethiopians,
and Cushites and Libyans
and Canaanites, his indecency.
That's fine. So you've seen that Ham is the one who gave birth to the Egyptian, the dark people, and we are even having a debate about the race of the Egyptians. Yet the Ashkenazis are telling you that the Egyptians were black.
They are brothers of Ethiopia.
And the brothers of Ethiopians. Hmm? So who and what is
a Negro? We'll look at the Shemitic origins of the word Niger or nigger.
So here you can see we already look at the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. So now here it shows you the different kinds of black people on this continent. You have a Negro or Sudanian race.
And then you have the Congolian race.
Then you have the Congolian race.
You have the Nilotic
Then you have the Nilotic people. Those are the ones, they are skinny, very tall. They don't have a beard. The Maasai people. You go to Ethiopia, Abyssinia, Somalians people, Eritrea, skinny, long, no beard. Those are the Nilotic people. Listen.
And then you have the Zingian race.
And then you have the Zingian race.
You have the Pygmoid race.
And then you have the Pygmy race. They are found in Cameroon, in Congo. They are the original inhabitants of Congo, Cameroon, Ghana.
And then you have the Melanesian
Melanesians are the Aboriginals you find in Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, and whatnot. Those are Melanesian. All of these are from a dark race, yet some are Shemitic, some of them are Metic, Nilotic, Negroid, Congolian, Pygmy, Zinguan. So even though we all look the same, we are not the same. There's no relationship between me here and a Akan man and a Fulani boy. Goodness and mercy. Listen.
So this is from the Dictionary of Greek and Roman Geography. It says, the termination ger was a generic word applied to all rivers and waters in North Africa, as well as the prefix.
So that's where you have the river Niger, the ge behind the ni. It's a German word used for rivers.
And it was applied to all rivers and waters in North Africa, as well as the prefix ni. Both were derived from the Shemitic.
But these words are Shemitic words. They are Hebrewic words and came through the Phoenicians.
Phoenicians are Africans to the Greeks.
And that's the thing. Once you see, they've misled us to a point that as soon as you see those kind of Phoenicians, it's like, oh, that has to be white. But you have to break it down. Listen, that's why I've told you that your leader has to be a researcher. He has to be schooled. We are not talking about having a university degree, but he has to be schooled and be able to research. Otherwise, no, forget it. In this era, what they are doing with AI, must I forget. Listen to the book.
And it came through the Phoenician Africans to the Greeks by a not unnatural error. The word, by a not unnatural error, the word became connected with the epithet Niger.
And we always give you the sources. We don't come and be like, oh, this comes from us. When it comes from us, we will tell you. But we show you the sources. Why? Because he said that because the preacher was wise, he taught the people knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The preacher should teach you where to go and find it yourself, so that you don't depend on the preacher 24/7. Many of you, when we small in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth, you have to go and ask your pastor. And he's there, yeah. I will explain it to you. Just close the Bible. No, don't leave the Bible open. Listen to the book. In other words,
the etymology of Niger or nigger is Shemitic in ancient
and
origin.
They've corrupted it to a point that now, when you hear the word nigger, you're like, especially ladies, when they hear the word, just listen to the book.
So the etymology of Niger is Shemitic in ancient origin.
How can you call a country that has this name Niger And Nigeria also begins with this same thing, but you call him Nigeria. Why not Nigerian? They're just lying to you left and right. Listen to the book.
So Niger, carpenter, and or herald is equated with the Sumerian Nagar and the Akkadian Nagiru.
Sumerian, Akkadian are all African nations. Listen to the book.
We are told that Ham was the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes,
Listen.
but of the Egyptians, which is Mizraim, the Ethiopians, which is Cush, the Libyans, which is Put, and Canaanites, which are from Canaan. If Ham is the father of the dark races,
if Ham is the father of dark races, but not the Negro,
that leaves only two other options.
Then now we have two children of Noah left, which is Shem and Japheth.
Japhetic.
So now let's look at Japheth. Japhetic is used
vaguely as an ethnological epithet for the so-called whites of Europe.
White people have been claiming Japheth since beginning. We can go into them and break it down, maybe have other 10, but we love their stance right now. They are Japheth, let them take it. Go ahead.
DNA and other scientific evidence indicate that Negroes are not Indo-European.
So since white people are Japhetic and Negroes are not Indo-European, meaning we are not Japhetic. Now we are not from Japhet, we are not from Ham. We cannot just drop out from space. We have to come from somewhere. Then where do we come from?
So,
listen.
If Ham is the father of the dark races, but not the Negroes, and Japheth is the father of the so-called Indo-Europeans,
then
biblically, who did the Negroes come from?
The only option left
is Shem.
It's that simple.
Negroes are the descendants of the ancient Shemitic Israelites.
And we are not only saying this for saying sake. We are going to show you examples. Plain and simple. There's a question. Okay. So does that mean that Niger means African river? Africa, yeah. Basically, the river, Black River in Africa. That's where the term Negro land comes from. Negro land. I will show you. The map will come later. That's why. So the people are always, we use the rivers to name people. So the Congo River, therefore the people there are called Congolese.
The Zambezi.
The Zambezi, the people there, they have the same title. You go to Ghana, where river is, that's the name on the people. So the river Niger or Niger is a land. That's where Nigeria comes from. That's where the land Niger comes from. That whole portion, West Africa, was known as Negro land, the land of the Negroes, the river of the Negroes.
Yeah. Okay, I cannot see the questions, Randy, so let me know.
So that was it? Okay. So let's go further. So I gave you this picture. This from them. They are showing you the Japhetic people, how their skull, their hair, and this is how they are able to identify the pharaohs and the people that have been buried. They take out your bone without the flesh, the skull. They can examine, oh, this is a Negro head, because we have the coconut head. Look at the Caucasoid skull. Northwest Europe, East Europe, South Europe, Turkey, Europe. I've been telling you that the Persians are nothing but white people. The same as the Turku people. They are Caucasians, no Arabs. Pakistan, North India, the same. India, the same. Not the South. The people from the South is from different, but most of the people, the ruling class of the Indians, they are Caucasoid. Horn of Africa, Yemen, the white folks there are Japhetic and Middle Eastern. Yet they are now telling you, if you look at it, it's like Arabs, they are something else. We have to kill them. But their own scientists tell you they are the same. There's no difference between a Pakistani, an Afghan, and a British. No difference between a Mujahideen and the Secret Service. All of them are the same people. But this they will not show you. Otherwise, you'll be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? This is what we mean. They've been lying to you over and over and over. Listen.
The next slide. We are told that the Spanish word Negro derives from the Latin word Niger or nigger, which means black.
That's what we've been told. Listen.
But we just read in the dictionary of Greek and Roman geography that the prefix ni and the suffix ger are derived from the Shemitic.
So the word ni and je was before the Spanish people came. But because they want to trick us, they've made it seem as if the word is something insulting. And it is the white people who brought it. But in ancient times, it has a meaning. Even though it refers to the people of that portion, it also has another meaning. And that's what we will show you. Listen.
Figuratively, Negro means gloomy, small, miserable, afflictive, oppressive, horrible, hopeless, unlucky, bad, and wicked.
Any negative thing is Negro. Like blacklist, blackmail. Anything black is negative, according to them. Listen. Yet everybody wants to be black in the summertime. Listen to that book.
The primitive root of Negro is not found in the Latin word Niger, but in the Hebrew word Naga.
Naga. Listen.
Naga, which means violently or to strike.
Punish, defeat, destroy, smite. Listen.
And nega means a blow. Figuratively speaking, it means infliction, stricken wound.
Listen.
And then nagas means a workman,
a debtor,
to tax, harass, or tyrannize, to distress or oppress. In ancient times,
nagas,
naga or nega
and
Negroes
were
a punished or defeated,
destroyed,
smitten, unlucky, wicked, and oppressed people.
So it also has a different meaning, oppressed people. We've done teachings upon teachings where we show you the so-called Arabs in those times, in those era, they are authors. When they indicated that there are some people who abandoned their Elohim, their God, and have been rejected. And they are there for anyone to invade them. They are the ones who showed the Western people where the Hebrews were. The oppressed people, the defeated people, people who used to live next to the Nile Valley with all manner of inventions and trade. Now, all of a sudden, they've gone bananas. They are fighting among themselves. Ashanti against Fanti. Hutus against Tutsis. Something is wrong. Listen.
But it shall come to pass in
But it shall
Deuteronomy
come to
28,
pass, listen.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yah, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Listen.
that all these curses shall come
All
upon
these
thee
curses shall come upon you.
and overtake. And in Deuteronomy 28:15, Moses spells out the curses that will fall on the Israelites if they fail to disobey the Most High.
So the word Naga also simply means the oppressed people, the punished people. Listen.
28 of Deuteronomy verse 25, Yah shall cause thee,
For Yah shall cause thee to be smitten
before thine enemy.
Listen, in other words, Israelites
would constantly suffer defeat,
be
punished,
oppressed
and destroyed if they fail to follow Yah.
Next, we have Daniel.
Confirming that these curses have started to afflict the children of Israel. In Daniel 9:11,
yea, all Israel have
transgressed thy
but
law.
the Ashkenazis tell you, no, we've always known the truth. One guy said that they even know, like all their ancestors, their names till Adam. These Ashkenazis, eh? Oh my goodness. Eh? Listen to the book.
All Israel have transgressed thy
All
law.
of us transgress, not some.
Even by departing, that they might not obey the voice.
Therefore,
the curse is poured upon us.
Therefore, the Israelites, Nagas, Negroes, Niggers were
an accursed,
condemned, punished,
and oppressed nation of people.
That's what it means. But they've made it. When you see, it's like someone can even shoot you in the hood for calling him Naga. What did you say? Oh my goodness. Listen to the book.
This is from Mr. Gormley, The Land of the Heart of Livingstone, and it says, the contention has been made that the extraneous element of the Bantu was derived from the tribes of Israel,
which were
first carried away to Babylon.
Most of the times, as soon as you, and that's, they've lied concerning everything. Babylon, they bring you to, what is it? Iraq. They call it Mesopotamia, like hundreds of thousands of years. There were people be a country called Mesopotamia. What are you talking about? When you read about Babylon in the scriptures, immediately you go to Iraq. When you talk about the Garden of Eden, they say, oh, go to Iraq. Iraq is a desert zone. Yet they want to falsely tell you that, no, it's from there. We know that previously, of course, our people ruled all of those Middle East. So you have our people there. But no, it's not there. How come all of the beasts of the field, the elephants, the apes, the whatnot, they've all run away from the Middle East and they came to Africa? How is that possible? So we will show you some few maps for you to know that Black people never left Africa. We've always been there. Don't let nobody bring you to Iraq or tell you to abandon Congo River and go to a Jordan River in Israel. What do you mean? Don't let any angel come and tell you that. When an angel come and tell you, go to tell him he should take other people and leave you alone. A place, they don't have drinking water. They have to use modern technology to get water from the sea. So that should tell you something. The lies. That's why I said that when you lie upon here, he will expose you. Now, when the people moved there, so-called, and there were no rivers, and they didn't have modern technology to now pull clean water from the sea, how was Joshua and them guys surviving? Because the so-called Jordan River they show you there, it's not enough to even do agriculture for you to feed. All lies. But when you read the scriptures, it talked about a promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Do you know what that means? And he spoke about you will be able to find brass and gold and whatnot, minerals in the ground. The dew of the heavens, you will find it, meaning rivers, a land full of brooks and streams. Where do you see that in the Middle East, in Israel? You do not want to face any real, you don't ask questions because you think, oh, everything is spiritual. No, everything is physical. As long as you can read it, it means it's physical. Because the scripture said that the revealed things belong unto us. The hidden things, we don't need them because they don't belong to us. So ask critical questions because the scripture is talking about brooks, streams, brass, iron, whatnot. When we go to Israel today, and it's all but desert. And they have to bomb the Arabs to steal even the Jordan River. Forcefully, they have to steal that one from Syria. Otherwise, there will be no river there. Listen to the book.
So the extraness element of the Bantu was derived from the tribes of Israel, which were first carried away to Babylon, as related in the scriptures, and who afterwards, in whole or in part, migrated through Egypt into equatorial Africa, and through mingling with native tribes, upon whom they imposed much of their own religion and customs, gave rise to the peoples now known as Bantu.
Just on my quote, this is a source, 1920. It's telling you about the tribes of Israel, their movement in Africa. I heard there is a question.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the question, so you can just put them on screen.
Should the Caucasians be called Japhet or Edomites? They say they are Japhet, but you will get Edom came later. So the sons, when you go Japhetic, you are going to the sons of Noah. When you go Edom, those are generations like Israel. Those are generations later. So if you have time and you continue to read the book of Genesis 10 about the tribes of Noah, and it breaks down the people of Japheth, Ham, and Shem. You will see, if you pay attention, out of Japheth, you will get Javan, Greeks. You will get Magog or Gog. That is Edom later on.
And
but that is a topic for another day.
And they intermarried, right? And mingled with.
Yes, that's a topic for another day. But I think we've done a lot of things on Edom, right? So yeah. So that's all. Edomites are generations later, but Japhetic is from the beginning, Noah. So that is the only difference. The same as you don't get Israel in Shem, in Genesis, because by that time, even Abraham was not born. His father was not born. It was generations later, but they came through the tribe of Shem. So also Edom later came through the tribe of the Japhetic race. That was it?
Yes.
So I put this map here for you to look at something. This is Bolton 1766. And then when you look at it very carefully, I have put a mark, red, called Lamlem. But above it, you see what Negritia, which is Negro land. This is West Africa. And then the Lamlem, there is a writing there, and I've written it down for you. According to Idrisi, so Idrisi was one of the ancient Arab authors, historian. He said, this place, West Africa, Lamlem.
According to Idrisi, the land here about West Africa was peopled by Jews,
was inhabited by Hebrews or Jews. When were white Jews living in West Africa? In 1766. And do you know what the word Lamlem means? Animalistic people. Yeah? This is West Africa. If you even look at a little bit towards the right top under my logo, there you see what the desert of Seth.
That's right.
The son of Adam, where he dwelled. That is a topic for another day. They won't show you these things. This is not our source. This is 1766. We were not born. And they were telling you that in West Africa, in Negro land, there were Hebrews living there. You are now telling me all of them died out and white people popped up and they are called Ashkenazis. Another one, look at this. At this day,
At this day, this is from John Pori. It says, at this day also, the Abyssins.
Abyssins are what you call Ethiopians today. Where they are, the name, original name is known as Abyssinia, not Ethiopia. Ethiopia simply means black. The Abyssins, the Kushites is the right name. Affirm that upon the Nilus is the Nile River,
towards the west thereof, inhabits a most populous nation.
Towards the west, once again, towards the West Africa. The Kushites, the so-called Ethiopians, were telling you that towards the west, there are people living there.
A most populous nation
of
the Hebrew or Jewish stock under a mighty king.
Listen.
And some of our modern cosmographers set down a province in those quarters, which they call the land of the Hebrews.
The land of the Hebrews, placed as it were under
the equinoctial in certain unknown mountains
between
the confines of Abyssinia.
Between the confines of where present day Ethiopia is and where Congo is. And this source is not from, this source is before King James 1611. This is from the 1600. That Sargon, listen.
Or Sennacherib, the successor of Shalmaneser III, king of Assyria,
having
continued the war commenced by his predecessor,
conquered
the kingdom of Israel,
and
brought the captive Jews and their king Hosea to this country.
And
from thence they eventually found their way into Abyssinia
and
Ethiopia.
So when we talk about the so-called people, the 10 tribes, they went to the middle. No, it's a lie. Africa. This is a source saying the same thing, that they were in Africa. And we will show you pictures to prove that, and to show you how they look like, and then we can compare it to what is that guy monster's name? Netanyahu. Listen to the book.
The third source, the supreme being not only of the Ashanti and allied tribes, but most probably of the whole of Negro land as well, is not the God of the Christians, which at a comparatively recent days was superimposed on the various tribal beliefs by ministers of the gospel,
but the Yahweh of
but the Yahweh of the Hebrews,
and
that too of the Hebrews of pre-exilic times.
So he's showing that the Bantus, the Congos, the Akan, the Igbos, their supreme was not the Christian God, but the Yahuwah of the scriptures. Listen.
So at the bottom of the screen, thus a Naga or Nega or Niger or Nigger and Negro was an accursed and smitten
Shemitic
dark-skinned person or an Israelite
that settled
near or around the Niger River Delta and to its furthest extent encompassing all of Negro land, Bilat el Sudan and Guinea, etc.
So these are sources, all of them saying they see, and these sources are not 19, these are 1600, almost 500 years ago. What happened to them? So now look at the map. We showed you a previous map in West Africa. Now there is a map showing also East Africa, around the Congo area. What does it say?
Sanuto, the famous geographer of that period, whose African Atlas in Geography was published in the year 1588.
600 years. Shows
a Jewish or Hebrew state distinctly marked as Judaeorum Terra in Tabula X of his African maps. The country extending some distance south of the equator and surrounded by mountains, a very considerable territory. So John Pori.
That's fine. So he showed you that there was a community, a Hebrew community around where Congo is in the year 1588. And now we've underlined what he put there. This is Latin. You take that word, Google Translate, and then what does it say?
So Yudorum Terra means the land of the Hebrews or the land of the Jews.
So how come we now find ourselves in Middle East, in Palestine, fighting Gazans? People. So we have another map, 1554 from Munster. And I want you to pay attention. You see, that's why I spoke about Ethiopia. It's just a word like Negro, like black. It has nothing to do with present day Ethiopia. If you look at this map, which is 1554, the map of Africa, you see towards the west where Negro land was, you see what? Libya, interior. So it meant that all the upper Negro, the upper Niger, was known as Libya. And then below it coming was known as what? Ethiopia. You don't see Ethiopia in East Africa currently as you see, but where do you see it? West. It meant that all that area was known as Ethiopia. Not only that, this is 1737 from Johann Matthias, and I've put arrows there for you. A few years later, the first arrow all the way up on your left is known as what? Ethiopia inferior. So animalistic people, as the Muslim said. And then when you come down Congo area, that area, East Africa, is known as what? Ethiopia superior. So that whole region from West Africa towards where you guys are in Congo was known as Ethiopia, the land of the blacks, the Bantus, the Negroes. And if you pay attention, just above the Ethiopia, you see what? Abyssinia, that is where the current Ethiopia you have is located. But now, when you look at the modern map and you see Ethiopia, you think, oh, that is Ethiopia. No, Ethiopia is the land of the black. It was the whole of what is known as sub-Saharan Africa. So they trick you. So when you are reading the scriptures and you see an Ethiopia, it's Cushite. Ethiopia means black. I hope this is understood. Let's move further. So we read about king of Assyria coming to capture Hebrews and then leading them around until they were positioned on the maps as we showed you in the Congos and then in the West Africa. In 1721 BC, before so-called Christ,
the Assyrian king Sargon II laid a protracted siege on the Israeli city of Samaria.
After Samaria fell,
the Samarian upper class was deported to Assyria and Babylon. Samaria was repopulated with Assyrians and Babylonians.
Oh, so this is from the British Museum. This image you see, this is what they got from there. This shows you the era when the so-called 10 tribes were being taken into captivities. Just look at the image to your left. It's the same as the image to your right. And look at the captives. Look at their Krantiwiri.
Coarse hair.
Coarse hair. Woolly. Rasta looking, short rasta. Just look at their coconut head and please compare it to Netanyahu. Master, the lies these people have told us in these churches, on Sunday, Master, sleep and relax. Don't waste your time in these churches. Yeah?
And for clarification, you read about this in 2 Kings 17.
Yeah. We already read it in the previous slides. This is in the British Museum. Today, I will not play any clip. When you have time, go on YouTube, you write it down, Assyrian, you will see one British guy, the tour guide, showing some small boys, and you see the Israelites. How did they look like? And he say, "Oh, they were blackish." He did it quick. They were blackish, but now all of a sudden they are pale. How is that possible? These people. And then I've put this map here for you because he said that they were in Babylon. That's why I told you that we never left Africa. Babylon was also found in Africa, where Egypt is, around that area. You know, when we read, look at this. These people did not have aeroplanes, cars, and trains. So they were living in the same area. Do you think they come and carry like 100,000 people without cars, and walk all the way to where Iraq is, through the desert? Come on, man. So when you are reading, apply logic. This is Minister once again, 1545. The African map. You see the arrow to your left-hand side. What does it say?
Babylon.
That's where Babylon was. That's why the authors we just read, all of them say that it was in the same area. This is just one map showing Babylon, but by the words of 2 or 3, everything shall be established. So we give you another one. This is from Starkman, 1720. Next to the now, around Egypt, what do we see? Babylon again. These people. And then finally, more 1710. To your left, you see now in English, Negro land. And look at where Ethiopia is. That's where Congo, around that area, is. And then the arrow green shows where current day Ethiopia is, which was known as Abyssinia. Don't let them trick you that whenever you read Ethiopia, you think, oh, is this? No. They are Cushites. Clear? And for you to know that Ethiopia, because if you look at the present day Ethiopia does not even have access to the sea. It's a landlocked country. Look to your left, look at the ocean there. Before Atlantic Ocean, what was that area called? Ethiopian Sea. It meant that Ethiopia was the sub-Saharan, that area, not east. But now they've changed it, they've removed the Ethiopian Sea, and everything there is called Atlantic Ocean. That's what Job said, that he has covered the eyes of the judges, the wicked man. He does whatever he wants. He can place name there and remove it there. All the Asian maps, you don't see Middle East, but now we have Middle East. So now we have 30 minutes. The Hebrews and the Egyptians
looked alike.
Listen to the quote.
This is from the Jewish Almanac, and it says, it is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew.
He's telling you that it is incorrect for you to call the ancient Israelites we just showed you in the captivity picture. It is incorrect for you to say that he is the same as Netanyahu. Both are different kind of people. Listen.
It is incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew and a contemporary or modern Jew a Israelite or Hebrew.
That's why they are not, and they trick you with names. How come they are not called Israelite, but they are called Israeli? You don't pay attention. How come they don't call themselves Israelite, but they call themselves Israeli? They don't call themselves Hebrew Israelites, they call themselves Jewish. Meaning he's mimicking something he is not. But you don't want to hear this. Huh? Listen to this book.
So this is from the book called The Vital Challenge of Biblical Certitude. That I only read the underlined one.
Yes.
It says, if we turn again to Egypt, we find that the word tesheret, the red one, designating the sterile or barren land, is in juxtaposition to Kemet, the black one, used for fertile land. As in Egypt, only the black muddy soil.
See, the black muddy soil once again, like ruddy. Listen.
Inundated by the Nile, is cultivable. Indeed, from the oldest to the latest period of Egyptian literature, Kemet, the black one, was the common name for Egypt as the fertile land.
So we are showing you this for you to know that Egypt was known as Black Kemet. And once you identify the Egyptians, you identify the Hebrews. That's why if you pay attention nowadays, even Netflix is having difficulties. Because people don't, because as soon as you prove that Egypt is black, then you are going to ask yourself, okay, let's assume that all the people of Israel who moved to Egypt, all of them were white. White like pink, white like blue, eye and everything. There were like 72 people. Moved to a country, all of them are black. After 400 years, 70 people, you cannot multiply yourself and become millions. It's impossible. You have to mix and mix and mix and mix with the indigenous people there, the black people. After 400 years, what do you think you will become?
Very black.
And that's why Elohim showed you that from the third and the fourth generation, he can forgive. Why? Because even when your blood is not good, after the first, second, third generation, Elohim sees you as Hebrew. Because your blood has been mixed. Now you have 90% plus. So they don't want you to know. They show you the pyramid. It show black people. You have to argue with them. They know it's not black. Nowadays they're going to tell you, no, we've done certain things, and the scientists proves that the DNA, they were not black. It's all fine. Let them take it. Yeah, we will stick with the sub-Saharan Africa. We don't need Egypt for anything. These people. So Genesis, now let's go to the scriptures.
Genesis 12 verse 10.
And there was
a famine in the land,
and Abram
went down into Egypt to sojourn there.
For the famine there
was grievous in the land.
And later on, after a few generations, Isaac has come, is given birth. Now Jacob also rose up
from Beersheba,
and the sons
of Israel carried Jacob their father,
and
their little ones,
and
their wives,
and
in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and their goods which they had gotten in the land of Canaan and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his seed with him.
72 people went into Egypt. So Exodus 1 verse 5 said that, and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were
70 souls.
For Joseph
was in Egypt already.
So 70 souls, including him and maybe his wife, they moved there. They are now living in Egypt. They are going to be there for, let's say, 400 years. Exodus 1 verse 22.
And Pharaoh charged all the people,
After
saying,
many centuries, there is a decree. Now Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is
born of the Hebrews, ye shall cast into the river,
and
every daughter ye shall save alive. And there went a man out of the house of Levi,
and took a wife daughter of
Levi.
And
the woman conceived and bare a son.
And when she saw him, Moses,
that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months.
And when she could no longer hide him,
she took for him an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime and with pitch and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink.
Blah, blah, blah. Verse 9. And
Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me.
So you know the story. The daughter of Pharaoh, who was black, now finds a baby who she claims to be a child. And all of you who have read the scriptures later on, you have Moses who was in the house of Pharaoh. How do you go and present a white boy to a Pharaoh and tell your father, this is my son? People, come on. He has to look the same as
people, indigenous Egyptians.
Listen to the book.
Verse 10, and the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son.
And she
called his name Moses.
And she said,
because I drew him out of the water.
Exodus 12, verse 30 and 7. And the children of Israel
journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot that were men, beside children, and a mixed multitude.
You see, when they were coming out of Egypt, I already told you that they've been mixed. For 4 centuries, they've been mixing. So everyone, the good, the bad, and the ugly, Egyptians, Israelites, all of them together, they were the same people. They just went out. Listen.
And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle.
And therefore Elohim said in the book of Amos chapter 9 verse 7, are ye not
as the children of the Ethiopians?
Are ye not as the children of the Germans to me?
Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians?
The Dutch?
The Ethiopians.
The Arabs?
The Ethiopians.
The Chinese?
The Ethiopians.
The Russian?
The Ethiopians.
How on earth can you compare, like me sitting here, I can look at my son Eliam and tell him, are you not like a German boy to me? No. I can be like, are you not like a Nigerian child? Because he can be a Nigerian because he's black. Why would Yah compare them to Cushites? Not Japhet. Or Magog or Gog or Javan.
Or Holland.
Or Holland or Germany or Belgium. People, please. Listen to the book.
Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians and Cushites unto me,
Listen.
O children of Israel? That said, Yah, have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt?
And the Philistines from
Caphtor,
and
the Syrians from Kir.
And princes shall come out of
Egypt,
Europe,
Egypt,
Asia,
Egypt,
the Middle East.
Egypt.
Princes shall come out of Egypt,
and Ethiopia or Cush
shall also stretch forth. That's why now you see, and you see it already. You see they call them better Israel. The Abyssinia, the so-called Ethiopia, they've stretched forth their hands towards the scriptures. Previously, it was not so. Look at their pictures. These are from the pyramids, and then I've put the modern one all the way up. Look at their dressing and compare it and tell me this is something different. They've not changed. It's the same thing. Same tradition, same clothes. Look at the hairstyle and look at that one of the pyramids. These are Nilotic people. Don't let these small boys, Japhetic people lie to you. Which white boys dress like this with this rasta and whatnot? Even with pictures and videos, they still don't believe us.
We are too black to believe.
That's what the Messiah told the guy in hell. He said, please let me go and witness to my people. He said, no. If they will not believe justice and them guys who are alive, you dead person, if you go there, they will even run away from you. We come in the volume of the book script. You see, now we are going to scriptures. We've given you first sources from Quran, sources, image. Yet Christian can be like, my Jesus will not do this. Continue with your Jesus. We will stick with this. Yeah. Now Jacob and Esau.
Genesis 25:25. And the first came out red.
The same as what we did in the beginning. Ruddy. That's how he looked like. He looked different than his ordinary mother, than Jacob, than Isaac, and all the guys around. That's why they described him. If this was a white boy, why would you say that? And the first came out white. Since all of them were white, does that make sense? Or if you say that and the first came out black, but all the people there are black. He has to describe it for you to know that his skin kind of looked a little bit different than the ordinary. So the first came out red all over like
a hairy garment.
And they called his name
Esau.
And after that
Came
came
his brother out,
and his hand,
took hold on
because his
Esau's
brother
heel.
looked like the mother, the father, and all the people around black. They didn't describe Jacob. So use logic. We are going. The Musa himself, the prophet. Listen, Exodus
4 verse 6. And Yah said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom.
He has done a first miracle. He turned a stick into a snake. And Yah knew that the Egyptians are masters of signs and wonders. They can also perform that. Then he told him, okay, you know what? Put your hand into your bosom, black man, Moses. And he put his hand into his bosom. When he took it out, behold,
his hand was leprous as snow.
It has now changed to Laban, white as snow. And then the angel told him, put now thy hand
into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again.
And when he plucked it out
of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
It became like how he is, like his face. And then the angel told him, Musa, it shall come to pass,
if they will not believe thee,
when they don't believe the first sign of the snake, and you do this, when a black man turn white, that's what you believe. That's one the Egyptians can do. Now let's go to the one and only himself, who was just a Hebrew. The Messiah. The book of, let's start from Matthew first, 2 verse 13.
And when they were departed,
When they were departed, behold, an angel of Yah
appeared to Joseph in a dream.
Arise,
take the young child and his mother, and flee into
flee
Egypt.
to Europe.
Flee into Egypt.
Flee to Asia.
Flee into Egypt.
Now you are trying to hide a boy who is born. For you to be able to hide him, you have to hide him among people that look the same. Because otherwise, if Egypt was all white and this guy was black, and you take him to Egypt, all that the king had to do is just send ambassadors that we are looking for a black boy who just entered Egypt. And they will be able to arrest you. Listen.
Flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word.
Listen.
For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
And when he arose, he took the young
child and his mother by night,
and
departed into Egypt.
And he was there
until the death of
They
Herod.
couldn't find it because you go there, all of them look the same. How do you find a small boy? We are looking for a black boy who has just been born. Okay, Mr. Herod, but every day there are thousands of black boys who are born in Egypt. So where do we start from? Not here, it did not describe the color, but let's look at it. Revelations 1 verse 1.
The revelation of Yahushua the Messiah, which Yah gave unto him, to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to
And
pass.
he sent and signified it.
By his angel unto his servant
Everything
John.
is done through the angels. That's what you have to get into your head. 114, his head
and his hairs
were
white like wool,
woolly hair, and as white
as snow,
and his eyes
were as a flame of fire.
Revelations 1:15, and his feet
like unto fine brass,
as if
they burned in a furnace,
and his voice
as the sound of many waters.
Because a brass is already of a darker hue. Once you put it into, okay, let's say it was white, and you put it into a furnace. During barbecue, you see it. Everything that you put on fire, if you don't remove it quick, it doesn't matter the color. It will turn it into black. This one, he told you, as if they've been burnt. Anything you burn becomes black. It becomes charcoal. Sudanese black. Master. Let's move on. If it doesn't convince them, I don't know. The color of the outcast of Israel. Let's go.
This is from the book History of the Jews by Greats. And then it says...
and this is from 1490 to 1535. See, from the tribe of Reuben, and Arabian was all the way up. I've put it, so you don't have to read.
Oh, okay.
I've put what is important there for you.
From the tribe of Reuben, and Arabia was dark complexioned, like a Negro, stated by Gedaliah ibn
This is
Yahya.
1490. The Arabs, so-called, were already telling you that there's a boy from the tribe of Reuben. He's dark, like a Negro. And he's from the Arabian Peninsula, what you call where Saudi Arabia is. That's why I put this image here for you. This is a Sheikh Adil from, he was one of the former Saudis imam from the Holy Mosque. When they allow you in that Holy Mosque, it means that Ibn Creme de la Creme. Look at him. He's like Shalom with the bat. Might be his nephew. These are the original people from that region. There's not an illegal immigrant who went there. He's originally from that place. Look at it. Now let's look at the boy, David. My skin. Let's look at Job
30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. First Samuel.
How can a white boy say that my skin is black on me? And you see it, and you've seen it. Go and watch the movies or the images from Second World War. White people, when they are starved, they become too pale. And then compare it to Yemen and Sudan and Ethiopia, where there's war and rumors of war, and the sun, they become more dark. They become charcoal. So Job said that my skin was black upon me, and my bones
are burned with heat.
And now let's look at David. And he sent
and brought him in. Now he was a ruddy.
Ruddy, we already touched in the beginning. Look at him. Just look at the picture, read.
And he was a ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to.
Listen.
And Yah said, arise and anoint him, for this is he.
Listen.
1 Samuel 17:42. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth
and a ruddy
and of a fair countenance.
That's what it means. Doesn't mean that he was white. Huh? Oh, goodness. Songs of Solomon 1 verse 5.
I am black,
but beautiful. That's what Kamali says. That's why people still say, oh, black, I'm black and beautiful. You got it from Songs of Solomon. O ye daughters
of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar.
The tents of Kedar is blackish. As the curtains
of Solomon.
Look not upon me because
I am black.
Because the sun
has looked upon me.
It meant that this lady was more blackish than the ordinary. Might be a Sudanese. This one. An indigo looking female. Listen, my mother's children were angry
with me,
and they made me
the keeper of the vineyards.
But
my own vineyard have I not kept.
Listen.
Isaiah 29:22.
Therefore, that said the Almighty,
who redeemed Jacob,
who redeemed Abraham concerning the house
of Jacob.
Jacob
shall not now be ashamed.
Neither
shall his face,
his visage, shall never wax pale. He shall never turn into Netanyahu. That's what Elohim swore by himself. Yet now they've turned pale. How is that possible? And this is not like they will say this is symbol. No. Just do the Strongs. You will see what I mean. This is literal. Jeremiah 8:20-1. For the head
of the daughter of my people and my hurt,
I am
black,
and astonishment
taken hold on me.
Judah mourneth,
and the gates thereof languish.
They are
black unto the ground,
and
the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Songs of Solomon saying the same thing, King saying the same thing, Isaiah saying the same thing, Jeremiah saying the same thing. Now Lamentation is going to say the same thing. Daniel will say the same thing. Acts will say the same thing. Revelation has already said the same thing. You still say, no, I don't want to hear this justice. Continue to eat your fufu. Listen to the book.
Lamentations 4:8. Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Their face, visage is French. Their face is blacker
than a coal.
Than a coal. How's coal? Charcoal. They are not known
in the street.
Their skin
cleaves to their bones.
It is withered.
It has become like a stick.
And that's why I show you, go and look at the films where Black people are going through famine and starvation. They become skinny like the Somalians and the Ethiopians, and they became like a stick. Black. Daniel now lifted up his eyes and saw angel Gabriel.
And behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl.
Listen.
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
And his eyes
as lamps of fire.
And his arms and his feet. So someone will ask us, why is it important? He says his arms and his feet in color. Why would he say in color? He wants you to know how he looked like. His arms and his feet. Just look at the picture there. Look at his face. That's how he looked like. Like polished brass, the same as the Messiah. Brass, as if it has been bent, polished. And the voice of his words like
the voice of a multitude.
Okay, this is Old Testament. Now New Testament, the book of Acts 13, verse 1. Listen.
Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers.
They were in the assembly. There were no such thing as church. They were in the assembly.
There was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas
and
Simeon,
which was called
Niger,
an Edomite,
Niger,
and Niger. All the apostles were so. The same as among ourselves with in Ghana, I don't know whether maybe Congos might have, Nigerians definitely. Even among ourselves, the one who is like black. Like if I go to Ghana, my barber is called Black Man. Of course, he's that's what they call this guy nigga. Of course, the guy was too black. You've seen old and new. Now, from the book, The Jewish Quarterly Review, 1889, it says a Jew
who was captured at sea and sold as a slave
was nearly
like a Cushite,
meaning
he was black. A Jew.
He was captured and sold. These people were not captured and sold. They were seated in first class trains heading to Poland, according to them. Now let's
receiving alimentation.
They are still being paid after almost 100 years. They get at least 4 billion in weapons from United States alone, and then the EU billions, Australia, Canada. And when it comes to you, can't you just get along? And as for you, you are you black people are even the first people that tell us, can't we just get along after 400? They are not getting along after almost 100 years. But we have to get along. Let's look at this National Geographic journal. And that's what they've been doing to you. It said Lemba tribe in southern
Africa has Jewish roots.
And then you look at to your left, and they have a journal, a Filipino-looking guy, and they've put there Lemba, the lost tribe of Zimbabwe. Can you imagine Zimbabweans looking like this?
Still exist.
Zimbabweans still exist. Even in their existence, they are changing them. Let alone the pyramids. Even once they have to seal these people. And this is what they show in journals. So when That's why the scripture says in the book of Jeremiah 16:19 that in the days of trouble, that is when the Gentiles shall come and say that we have inherited life, because someone just got this. And he in his eyes, because once your eyes capture something, you go, oh, the Lambas in Zimbabwe, wow, they're like Filipino. All lies. All lies. So I put this one here, Jewish book printed in Jerusalem.
Views of the biblical world. That's it, right?
In 1960. And these, it talks about dead Israelites or Israelites exiles. And just look at them. On your left, you have the exiles, the ones going into captivity. And then you have the ones who are dead in the sea. Just look at them. Let's look at the Krenti. Look at their hair.
Nappy hair.
Kinky.
They do the twist.
Let's look at in the pyramids. These are the things they don't want you to see. These are shown in the pyramids. We still have to have a debate. These people, eh? No. Look at the Nilotic people in the pyramids. Now, let's go to, we are almost done. Let's go to the so-called Dark Ages, the Byzantine Empire or era, the 11th century. And Europe, according to them, was dark. No electricity, nothing. Listen.
It says, illuminating the Psalms in the Byzantium. At the right, it says, a Psalter is essentially the book of Psalms, a book of the Old Testament that during the Middle Ages was accessible in two main formats, either as a part of a complete Bible or as an independent volume.
So this is how the scriptures look like then in the Middle Ages, when they were talking about Solomon, the Messiah, David. They always had the pictures. This is Europe. This is not Africa. It's in the museum. Listen.
The Psalms, a corpus of canticles or songs originally composed in Hebrew and assembled over a period of 7 centuries, were supposedly authored by King David, an ancestor of the Messiah. As a result, David's image featured prominently in illuminated psalters.
So when you go and you look at the book, you see that the image of David, you see it often because the whole thing was centered around him. The Byzantines, like Christians in Western Europe,
valued the Psalter highly and produced beautiful and sophisticated illuminated manuscript of David's songs for rulers, clerics, abbots, and monks, as well as for the lay noble patrons.
If you went into Europe in the 11th century and you wanted to know how the people of the book looked like, the images I'm about to show you is how they look. That's what they will give you. But now they looked at Netanyahu. The British Library
houses two of the most important surviving marginal psalters from the 11th century, the Bristol Psalter and the Theodore Psalter.
So this is from the source is there. You can see read the sources. You can find it in the British Museum, British Library. So let's start.
The Bristol Psalter, the capture of David by the Philistines in Gath.
Just look at David and compare him to Netanyahu. Let's go on.
This is King David with his musicians.
Just look at them. Do they look like the present day Netanyahus? And this is the Chaldeans with the Israelite captives, Israelites who have been captured. Just look at the afro hair and compare it to Netanyahu.
And then Christ's entry into Jerusalem.
And now this is Christ so-called himself. Just look at him. And look at all the people welcoming him. Whether they look like Netanyahu or Sean Wang Chang and Kim Jong-un. Hmm? This is King Solomon.
2 Ziphites before
Saul. Sorry. King Saul. Hmm? And then compare it to this one. So Gamal Abdel Nasser, former president of Egypt, stated this. Listen.
You have left black and returned white. You are impostors and shall never see peace.
They killed him. Just compare the current Israelis to the pictures we just saw. Look at this picture: Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and the crossing of the chain. You see him? Look at the boy. Just compare these things to the pictures we just saw. Hmm? Any questions? Pictures don't lie. In conclusion, listen, Revelation 7 verse 17.
For the Lamb
which is
in the midst of the throne shall feed them,
and he shall lead them
unto living fountains of water,
and
shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
Thus saith the Almighty, the book of Isaiah 40 and 9 verse 20, and to behold,
I will lift up my hands to the
and
Gentiles,
set up
my standard to the people,
and they shall bring
thy sons in their arms,
and
thy daughter shall be carried upon their shoulders.
when you read the whole context, it will show you that for you to even look at them, they will have to carry you, bring you from all of these islands begging. For he to say he will crush them anyway. Revelations 2 verse 9, I know
thy works,
and
tribulation,
and
poverty,
but you
are rich.
And I know
the blasphemy of them which say they are Hebrews
and
are not,
but
are of the synagogue of Satan.
You see them, you see they can. When I look at what they are doing, the women, the kids, and it doesn't. These are not human beings. Like black, I think maybe that is the problem with black people. Like we have too much compassion. Even people who enslave us, when we see something bad happen to them, it's like, no, for them, it's like, yeah, go on, bomb them. Isaiah 49 verse 20 and 3, and kings
shall be their nursing fathers.
In the new kingdom, kings shall be your nursing fathers.
And their queens thy nursing mothers.
And their queens, Queen Elizabeth and Princess Diana and Beatrice and them guys, they shall be your nursing mothers.
And they shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth,
and lick
up the dust of thy feet. And
thou shalt know that I am.
Yeah.
For they shall not be ashamed
that wait for me.
You're going through pain. You can look at the picture. But there is a reward at the end. So do not let these people trick you. Don't let these people, your pastors, because it's your father, come and stand there and quote one verse and dance around. Have you seen the verses we've shown and the sources and pictures we've shown? You don't believe that yet. If your pastor comes and use only the word ruddy and does not even give you the definitions and say that they were white, you are like, let's clap for him. So the Messiah said that if they will not believe justice, even if angels come, then they will run, they won't believe them. So I hope that this will help you to do further research, that you will not just ignore things, that you will not just take things for granted. We come, show you sources, we show you where we've gotten them from, and we tell you continue to do your own research. We've shown you videos previously to confirm. We've shown you maps Don't base everything. When you look at the modern African map, everything is, people think everything just started in maybe 20 years ago. You have now Ethiopia, you have Congo, and Congo Brazzaville. Then you have Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. What do you mean? They're just tricking you. They're just tricking you. All of us, you go, all our DNA, the Bantu people, the Akan, the Igbos, the Ewes, the Gan people, the Bakungus, the Kikiyus and whatnot, all of them, their DNA is EB1A. That's all our DNA is, the same people spread. And then the Nilotic people have different DNA. Theirs end with B instead of A. So don't let them deceive you. And the same white people even tell you that the AB1A, that if you trace it, that is you will be able to find the original person. And then they say Adam. They don't use the Y DNA and the what from Japhet. It's from us. They say it themselves. When they were looking for the original people, they didn't stay in Europe. They went straight to Africa to look at the oldest person that ever existed. And they found bones in Africa. They didn't go to Middle East or West Europe or Asia. They knew where they had to go. But when it comes to truth, you are like, no, why? Because it comes from justice. It comes from the brothers. So I hope you are learning something. I hope people, they will get enlightened. Yah is the one who touches their heart. Do whatever you must do to survive. And please do not do anything that if your mama or your father finds out. Don't go and take a bomb because you have a broken heart from a woman. And go and try to place it in front of someone's shop and then blow off your own hand. That's what they are now doing in Holland. Bombs. Small boys throwing bombs because of a lady. And then you die, and then your news comes, and now your father is, what is wrong with you guys? What people are, we are researching, you are blowing up people because of women. Palestinians are fighting for their soul. You are blowing people up because of broken hearts. Calm down and do whatever you must do to survive. May Yah add his blessings to the reading of his words and to the hearing of his words. Next week we will continue on the same theme but a different angle. I hope you will be blessed. I hope a week by this time we all will be alive. We'll be able to hear the said Elohim. Salam, salam, salam.
But I know your works were negative. They keep on holding on to my name. Go ask Aristotle and go ask Plato. Better Israel, yeah. Better Israel, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hear me now. The people of the land rule oppression, exercise robbery, vex the poor and needy. They are polluted in the way. Man will take off your crown, remove your diadem, exalt him that is low. You know the regard the God of their fathers. They have no desire for woman. They exalt forces. They come into our fields and them take them by violence. They oppress a man in his house, even his heritage. They try to put a bit into my mouth that I might obey and go whichever way you say and say whatever you say. But I know your works. We're negatively giving them. They keep on holding on to my name. Israel, yeah. Israel, yeah. Give me up. The people of the land rule oppression, exercise robbery, vex the poor and needy, polluted in their way, and will take off your crown, remove your diadem.